Hey, welcome to the Backwoods Gourmet. Today we're going to do a cast iron recipe from someone out there in our Backwoods Gourmet Nation. Stay tuned. So thanks for dropping in at the Backwoods Gourmet. Hey, today we're going to do a dish that was sent to me from Becky Dupree out in Texas. She is a member of our channel, and if you would like to have your recipe considered to be on the show here, then just look right down here just beside the subscribe button. There is a button that says join. You can hit that up, find out more about it. Entry level on that is very affordable for everybody, less than 20 bucks a year. Okay. All right, so enough about this join button. If you hadn't hit the subscribe button already, you might want to do that right now, and make sure your bell notifications are turned on. So what the dish is today is from Becky Dupree. It is a chicken and shrimp pineapple teriyaki. We're going to do it over in one of these big old cast iron pans right here in the background. Which one do you think we should use? I'm leaning for a number 12, so make your guess right now and leave a comment below. Really, I've been doing some quick Dutch oven dishes. Today is not going to be a quick dish, okay? I've spent some time preparing all of the ingredients for this dish, and it took me about an hour, okay? About an hour. But the finished pictures of this dish and the ingredients that are going in it, it's going to be super, super special. So this might be one of those recipes you might want to save when company or family's coming over, and impress them with your cast iron cooking. Yep. So let's go over the ingredients you're going to need to make this recipe really quick, and a lot of these you need to pre-prepare. Okay, so right here we have a cup of diced sweet onions. I have 3 cloves of garlic. I have a full cup of diced pineapple, and that pineapple came from here. And this is kind of where some of the time came involved. You want to split that pineapple open and then cut out the core, dig out the flesh, dice it up. You need to keep a cup of it. Rest of it can be used later. We're going to use some Seminole Swamp seasoning. Becky's recipe I will leave you at the end of the video. She uses a different one that's available out there in Texas. And we got some teriyaki sauce. It's just I got the less sodium one, okay? I got the less sodium one. You need some peas and carrots. We didn't have the recipe calls for regular frozen peas and carrots. I don't like the little green peas. I did have black-eyed peas, and I had fresh carrots, so I made those ahead of time, and they're fully cooked. Okay. Also, fully cooked white rice. That's some parboiled that I already did ahead of time. Did that right there in my little Taiwan rice pot. Works perfect. I got some chicken cut up into bite-sized pieces. I used 1 chicken breast and 2 thighs. The recipe calls for all thighs. I just used what I had left from yesterday's cook, and then a cup of peeled and deveined shrimp. We have them right there. So the other thing we just alluded to was, which of these pans up on the wall do you think we should use to cook up all these ingredients? Now, mind you, a lot of them we're going to cook and take back out, but that final dish is going to be pretty big. It's going to be the Griswold, the Old Antique, the Stock Black Lot, or the Backwoods Gourmet Black Lot, or the Lodge Carbon Steel. Hey, and there's the Old Antique number 12 right there. And if we really think it's going to need a lot, we can go to the big Lodge 15-inch pan right there. first step we're going to do, actually we got our pan over there preheating on the fire right now on a medium high heat. Today I'm going in with Seminole Swamp Season low MSG. Okay. Some of these other things we're going to put in there are going to be a little bit salty, and we can always bring the salt in at the end. I'm going to bring in my teriyaki sauce, and the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons. There's 1, there's 2. So I want to stir that all together and let that kind of marinate in that teriyaki sauce and Seminole Swamp Season. I'll give it just another shake or two, and kind of get all married up with them flavors before you throw it in that hot cast iron. Recipe didn't call for any more seasoning on these shrimp, but I'll put a little bit more Seminole Swamp on them. That's a cup of medium to medium large shrimp. Use what you got, use what you caught. I didn't catch these guys. I pretty much ate all the ones I've caught. So I got a little bit more oil in there. I want that pan pretty hot. I don't want to overdo these guys. And I do want to keep them moving. Like I said, they're going to come back into this dish later. So they only need a few seconds on each side. So I'm just going to make sure I'm active with my tongs in there and keep them flipped over just to get hot through. Okay? Both sides. And then I'm going to pull them right back out of there and throw them right back in a clean dish. Okay. Right back on the fire. A little bit more chicken grease. Whenever you can, add flavor, you know. Got it, might as well use it. And there's a little bit of a fond building up to the bottom of that pan, which is going to just add to everything. Now we're going to get our onions and start sweating them down. Here we're going to want to kick the fire back because we don't want to brown these. We just want to, as a matter of fact, right this minute I'm going to go ahead and cut the fire completely off. That pan's pretty hot. Doing the shrimp and the chicken. I might even move it over here, help it cool off even more. I'm going to keep them moving. But they are going to pick up a little bit of that fond as they start releasing moisture out of the bottom. They're going to release that moisture out. And that moisture is going to help to bring up the fond in the bottom of the pan. I just don't want to, recipe doesn't call for browning them. So that did really good. Cooling it off real quick, so let's go ahead and fire the fire back up. Man, that good old Griswold is just, stuff just slides around in it. I haven't used it in quite a while. Still super great pan. If you guys can find one of these big box logoed Griswolds and I don't want $1 million for it, highly recommend it. Alright, so those onions will start looking pretty good. Next thing to go in is 3 cloves of garlic. You can use a garlic press or you can just dice them really fine like I did. You want to stir them around, and now we need to kick this fire up because we're fixing to put a bunch of stuff in there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and crank it up about medium high now. And you only want to cook that garlic by itself there for about 30 seconds because it will burn on you, and if it burns on you, it's going to give you a better taste in your dish. So you can kind of tell with your nose when that's getting ready, and I like to keep it just moving the whole time. Smelling really garlicky. I'm gonna go ahead and dump in our cup of pineapple. That's gonna take some of that heat down. Alright, I'll get that mixed in there. That's the reason why we wanted to bring that fire up. We're coming in with our peas and carrots. Like I said, we're using black-eyed peas and carrots. You can use green peas and carrots frozen right straight out of the bag. Still frozen. We'll leave you that original recipe right at the end of the video. The way it was given to me, and we modified it a bit. So let's let that come up a little bit, and then we're going to throw in the rest of our ingredients. Alright, that's all coming up to the sizzle, and remember that is already cooked. If you got peas and carrots frozen, they're going to be on, thawing out as this is going on. We're going to put in our cup of rice. I like to use parboiled rice because it's so light and fluffy, just like that. We got our 4 scrambled eggs. I did not do those on cast iron. This is Backwoods did those on a non-stick pan. Just disclaimer there in case any of you guys are watching really close. Oh my God, you didn't do those on cast iron, really? Well, I didn't have time to do them out here. A lot of stuff going on at one time with this dish. So you got to have everything ready to go, and I'm thinking it's needing just a little more oil. Looking a little dry. You may not have that issue. I don't want to really crank that fire up anymore. What we're doing right now is just basically heating up the dish. Because everything we basically put in there, other than the pineapple, was already cooked. So I'm going to go ahead and just to hold them juices in there, I'll put a lid on it for a second. That's smelling pretty good. It's got a pretty nice sizzle going on there. Time to finish this up. Pull the lid off. Come right back in with our chicken with any juices that have accumulated in the bottom of that bowl. Let us stir down in there. Come right in with our shrimp. Man, those smell good. Alright. If you haven't seen my campfire meal where we do a chicken and rice with rock shrimp in it, I'll leave you a link right in the description box. 3 tablespoons teriyaki sauce. There you go. I believe we can just cut that fire off. Give this a good stir. Stick a lid on it and let what heat is in that pan just finish it up and marry it all together. Then we'll show you how we're going to serve it up. Alright guys, let's go in and platen this up. I'll tell you what, that smells really, really awesome. So what we're going to do is going to bring in one of our pineapple bowls here. This was a great presentation. A little bit of work, and takes a little trial and error. I took the core and cut it like a V after I cut it in half, and cut it at both ends, and that popped right out. And then I used the edge of a thin tablespoon to hollow the rest of the bowl out. Okay, and you can see perfectly hollowed out bowl. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and serve up the teriyaki shrimp and chicken with rice, eggs, onions, garlic. That looks friggin' awesome. Spilled some stuff on the plate there. I'm gonna get that up. Alright, so for garnish, I cut some scallions on the bias. I'm gonna sprinkle those right over the dish, right around the plate, just like that. And if you want, go ahead and give it just a little dribble of teriyaki sauce right over the top, just like that. There you go. That's a teriyaki shrimp and chicken from our longtime subscriber and member, Becky Dupree, from out in, I think, in Houston, Texas. So appreciate you, Becky, for the great recipe. So let's give it a try. So let's go in here and give this a try. I definitely want to get one of those shrimps on there. You want some of that. I know you do. Let's give it a shot. That was a big shrimp, so I might have to cut out part of this chewing. That is truly special. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you might want to make this for company, not just on a weeknight. It's got a little bit of time involved in doing the prep for it, but man, I'll tell you what, let's try some of the chicken. Some of that juicy chicken. It's still nice and juicy. We didn't overcook it to begin with, remember? Delicious. The whole thing just turned out super great. Feel free to expand on this dish also. I think possibly a little bit of grated ginger in there would have woke it up just a little bit more, or maybe some lime juice. That's just me. The pineapple did a great job of waking up all the flavors in it also. So if you like what we're doing, please smash that like button right down there. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, you can do it right over there. For another great Backwoods Gourmet video, it's going to be right up there. And for a whole playlist, cast iron Dutch oven cooking, going to be right up there. And don't forget about the join button. We'll see you next time.